on the Oregon coast. Those of us that choose to live here and visit here, I think whether we know it or not, we're drawn by these forests that are just precipitating off of headlands right into the ocean. Conservation of places like this is critical to the human spirit. There's a reason so many people come to visit here.
People like to live in Arch Cape because of this. It's because of those mountains, it's because of that rock. It's a unique place, and there's unique places all over, but this one's something special.
I've lived in Arch Cape and in the area for about 20 years. Here in Arch Cape, we can't set up a fence between our lives and the ocean. Our global ocean covers 70% of our planet. Our existence is reliant upon it and the benefits that it provides, not just us, but also all of our incredible wildlife. The primary purpose of the Arch Cape Forest is to provide clean and abundant drinking water for us, the residents, our visitors, today and in the future generations.
The reason that a property is acquired comes down to human values. Sometimes those are purely financial values, sometimes they're emotional values, sometimes they're recreational values. Here, for the most part, they're ecological and ecosystem service values. I think my role was is like, how do we convene these fairly varied perspectives on how to manage a landscape and create a cohesive document that also brings in the best available science and is adaptive in a way that we can think 5 or 10 years in the future, that it's still going to be relevant, that we can update it and keep it relevant, but then bringing all those pieces together and making sure it's something that the community can feel ownership of going forward.
You know, I've been a water person my whole life, so Arch Cape has been real convenient for me because of the ocean and the water availability. My first house that I have here, when we'd fill the bathtub, it would have grit and sand and dirt in it. And that was, over 40 years ago. So it's real refreshing now to see that the community has put up the money and fill the bathtub now, and it's clean water coming out. I know there's been quite a good process on gathering money, on grants and whatnot. The big question is, where's the money going to come from? What will that impact have on fixed income retirees?
It's been hard to come to terms with the water district making this step in purchasing the watershed. I have eventually been convinced that it is our responsibility to provide water, but it's also our responsibility to protect the watershed, that we might be able to supply that water to the people living here. Community support has been a really big issue to need to care about, because if there's no one here to continue after us and care about it, there may be no water here. We might be salinating water.
Well, I don't think there's any community in the world that doesn't have to have a stable and secure source of water. The water district here was formed to upgrade and operate the private water companies that were put in by the real estate developers a century ago. This little basin here is a man-made retaining structure simply to accommodate the intake, and the water that we take out of this stream is sent several hundred yards down to our treatment plant where it's filtered and processed and stored. We have a reservoir there. The cost of taking dirt out of the water, of dealing with industrial forestry, is a significant impact on our ability to provide cost-effective water. Secondly, the forest itself and the health of the forest contributes enormously to the quantity of the water and the quality of the water. All of our mandates encourage us to see what we can do to make our watershed as productive as possible and our water treatment as inexpensive as possible. But we got to look at the cost of acquisition too.
Through the years of putting this project together, we've connected with so many partners and funders and community members, residents, leaders in the community. It's been really amazing to see this vision of connectivity here be like a magnet for people that want to make a difference. The county has been very supportive. State legislators have been incredibly supportive. All kinds of individuals have come out, like more than 1,000 people have come together to just donate of their own funds to these projects. They don't even live here. It's just like, yeah, this is the kind of thing we need to see in the world. We all need water, and this is an amazing forest, and it's right here next to one of the most visited state parks. What a great idea, and I want to be a part of that.